First of all, and this morning, I would like to congratulate VARINDIA. And I have been part of this movement. It's not a magazine. It is not an association. It is not an organization. Why I am calling it movement? Because this organization actually brings out the best of India and publishes it every year in form of brand book, in form of connecting with the people, all the players here. And testimony of that is that all of you are here to participate in this. Second part is that it recognizes people in a democratic fashion. Consequently, the participation and the recognition, they go together. So congratulate Deepak Sahu, VARINDIA, and the team to do such a wonderful job year after year for so many years. And I wish them that they go on like this for hundreds and hundreds of years. Because in the ecosystem, they have a unique place in certain sense. Second thing that actually I want to talk to all of you is that what is changing is more important than what is there. Okay, what it means is that we have been doing our business in a particular way, and we have been having products, and we have been servicing the customers. We have been doing a great job of satisfying the customer. But what is changing is actually creating a new paradigm altogether. And what is this new paradigm? I had the chance of about half an hour in the morning because the program got started a little late. So what I did is that I created, what's changing is something I would like to call SWIM, S-W-I-M. And you will find that this acronym is born only about a few minutes back. And that actually will bring, some of you may agree, some of you may not agree, but S stands for satellite. Now, satellite is changing big time. The whole, anything that we know is being impacted by satellite. And satellite, why? Because you have now high throughput satellites which are coming along. And these satellites are able to give you gigabit level connectivity to any place. Has not been recognized globally as a medium of surveillance, as a medium of communication, as a medium of connecting things effectively. India has taken lead in satellite technology, and also many satellites are in the sky providing the whole thing. So recognizing all of that, we have to see how do we, because the major challenge in front of the country has been how do we connect the far-flung areas, villages, all of that. What we saw was the second part of the SWIM. It's called Wi-Fi. Many of you know Wi-Fi, which is indoor, which is corporate, but Wi-Fi is changing big time. And big time change means what? Let me begin with the end, something called Wi-Fi 6. Now, Wi-Fi 6 has got almost same capabilities that you are expecting from 5G, eNode B. It has MIMOs, it has got all the encoding schemes that you look for, and it delivers you 10 gigabit per second Wi-Fi. Latest released about 3 months back, and we have tried it, we have built it in C.Dot Labs, and other than mobility, which is typical in the mobile world, this Wi-Fi 6, I would call poor man's 5G. What it means is that this has the capability of servicing almost all the applications that you have come across. The only trouble will be that how do you connect the mobility? And you have heard about the WANI framework, which is being proposed by TRAI, which provides some degree of mobility that you buy Wi-Fi services in one place and you can go around. Also, C.Dot has done many experiments. We have put Wi-Fi inside the bamboo. Bamboo? I'm serious. Why? Because the portability of the bamboo is so easy. You can put it anywhere and it should do Wi-Fi. Just an example. Because Wi-Fi is getting outdoor, getting more capable. We also did Wi-Fi in balloon. See, you do for advertising all those balloons. Why not put Wi-Fi on top of it? It gives you more coverage, about 2 kilometers on Wi-Fi. We also did long distance Wi-Fi that goes 10 to 20 kilometers. We did optical Wi-Fi, solar Wi-Fi that works without battery, works without anything. So when sun is out, it will give you Wi-Fi. And if you have a battery, of course, you can sustain that. What I'm saying is second W, swim, Wi-Fi is becoming very important. Change. Third thing is very commonly talked about is actually Internet of Things. Okay? Or it is also known as IoT. It is also known as the automation tool. And consequently, it is important for us to figure out what the heck is going to happen. The point you made, Dr. DeCosta made. Who's accountable? A program has been designed and kept on a computer, and that is encrypted with an actuator. An actuator is where it can be anywhere. And I just now talked about satellite connectivity. It may be connected through satellite. So now you come back, and then the plunger goes out, gets inside a bottle filled with something. And you just can't catch anybody. You just don't know. So this paradigm of IoT has to actually be augmented by many other advancements in the technology. And one of those has been designed by the world, 8 standard bodies, and I will name a few of those to give you actually an idea as to what's going on in this area. ETSI, European Telecommunication Standard Institute, which is a standard body. Also 3GPP, which defines 5G. Also the TSDSI, Telecom Standard Society, Development Society India, TSDSI. Korean standard body, Chinese standard body, Japanese standard body. All of those came together and built one common standard called Common Service Platform, M2M. The name of this standard is ONE, O-N-E, M, number 2, M, 1M2M. And consequently, the whole paradigm of the smart city is going to undergo change. This standardization has already happened. ITU is going to adopt it. So it is a non-trivial thing that I'm talking about. And what it does is that all information comes from sensor and get distributed to all the applications. Consequently, there is no blockage by one company's walled garden. And you have open information available to everybody from this platform. So that's why this I of IoT is going to be very important. And last thing in the swim is actually monitoring and security. If you can't monitor, earlier on they used to say if you can't measure, you can't manage it. Now it is if you can't monitor it, you can't run it almost, right? Monitoring of all the data, all parameters for the purpose of security. And that what's happening there is that attacks are increasing, both in size. So just imagine an equipment getting attack of 1 gigabit per second on all the ports. Earlier on, the duration used to be 5 minutes. Now duration is 5 hours, constantly being attacked. And it is not able to do its own function, right? Why? Because it is busy responding to everybody, right? Coming from all the sides. And consequently, the security and all other functions get defunct. And that's why monitoring of the behavior of all of these equipment using artificial intelligence, using the maintenance using artificial intelligence, finding out the pattern and behavior, all of this is going to be very important. AI is part of monitoring, right? All that behavior patterns and stuff like that. So that's why the change which are happening is allowing us to really look at the next generation of business. How will we do that, right? I mean, I'm sure that some of us have the solution because most of the people are working here. They are very good in firewalling. They're very good in actually creating integrating different applications. Also, cameras, security. Done a great job. This industry has moved forward very, very well. There are 2 or 3 more things I will bring up, India perspective. NAVIC. I think some of you would have heard about the NAVIC. Earlier on, all the GPSs that you have were coming from 2 sources. One was in America, other one was in Russia. India has built its own standard, which got adopted by 3GPP as part of all the standards. It means if you are over India, you have to be NAVIC compliant over the years. So your mobiles, which will be manufactured after some time, will necessarily have the navigation capability of NAVIC. And NAVIC is much more accurate than all others that we have come across. The satellites have been launched. The constellations are there. They have a great amount of coverage. It's all proven, tested. So NAVIC is what is going to pinpoint the whole thing from the perspective of India. Now 5G. No discussion can actually complete without talking about 5G. For me, 5G is not such a big change in terms of network technology and all that. It is actually. But the bigger than that is going to be the business change that it will propagate. Let me tell what I mean. You are used to selling it to the IT companies. You're used to selling it to the corporate in isolation, all the solutions. But what is happening is that now these high-speed networks are changing almost every industry. Pharmaceutical, manufacturing, medical, I mean, you name education. And why it is changing is because either it is impacted by low latency or it is impacted by big broadband, pipe, videos, augmented reality. But the important thing is not capability of the network. Important thing is what it is going to impact. Consequently, the businesses have to realign themselves and the channels have to redefine themselves to service the new breed of customer who has never used the technology as much as and the communication technology, particularly within their enterprise. They have been just using as a users. So that's another big business change that we need to look at. And I believe that Make in India is eventually required because you cannot meet the price points, you cannot meet the quality of service, you cannot meet the customer expectation, you can't do much because the problems in India are different. I talked about bamboo Wi-Fi. Why? Because it is required in India. Carrying the things on the truck is a big problem, where carrying bamboo is very simple. Likewise, one of the problems that we have in front of us is called disaster. We have 113 types of disasters in this country, and there is no point in time in India when there is no disaster, which is happening, right? What it means is that just applying the technology to solve some of these problems will require local knowledge, and consequently, the Make in India and involving with that becomes very easy. I know all of us are here for good business, and I actually want to wish all of you a great success, and I wish all of you get award in the evening. Usually I used to come in the evening, but I was busy. That's why I have got promoted to probably keynote now. I will be glad to answer if you have 1 or 2 questions and time permits that. But telecommunication, as you know, is going through a big change, right? But rest assured, connectivity is going to be there. It is irreversible, like desire of the people. 6% contribution from telecommunication is going to grow to 8% contribution, about $1 trillion. Okay, so it's a non-trivial number that we are talking about here. All of us will have good business if we continue to change and change the customers in a different way. Thank you. Any questions? If time permits, I can take one or two. Yeah. And you can ask, about almost any technology question, okay, or business, and that will stop there. No politics. India will have? Yes, I think, more than that, I think important thing is who's going to govern this internet? Because the answer of root server lies in who's going to govern the internet. And if government is going to govern, India will have the root server. But if it is going to be independently run the way as of now, the governance team of that will decide where it will be. But India is becoming increasingly important for internet. Why it is becoming important is that we are highest consumer of data, and with the lowest devices. Only 48% of the devices are smartphones. Imagine sometime you'll have 100% of the devices and you will have video capabilities where we are going to hit the roof in the data transmission. Consequently, on internet, India is one of the most significant emerging players. It's already there. We are highest consumer of data, but we're going to remain that way for a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised if the new governance model actually says, better keep it here because all traffic will be, I don't want to carry the traffic all the way to the servers there where it all get resolved. Okay. Yes. Yes.
One of the issues which basically we see is, I'm talking of rural India, especially when it comes to the medical delivery or agro-related solutions. The availability of internet is basically still an issue.
Yeah. Okay.
The second issue is again, going to be, is the last mile issue, which
Yes.
still continues to be a major issue itself.
Yes.
Is there any possibility that, with the satellite, what we are doing across itself?
Bingo, here you go. Right question at right time. There is a product called CSAT-5. C dot satellite Wi-Fi. All of this together, available today, runs all the services that you know. When I say all the services, let me enumerate them. Landline phone. Why the heck satellite has to have this 1 lakh rupees phone? We've broken that myth. We've broken the technology on simple landline. Voice over IP phone. There is single device called service switch. You can hang on that, is voice over IP phone. You have the Wi-Fi for the entire village or region, wherever you want, all integrated into service switch, designed by CDOT. Then you have the edge computing platform called Manoranjan for getting videos out to the people. And you will be surprised. The last thing is a revelation to many people now is that we also have the broadcasting merged with the Wi-Fi. Okay? In M2M standard that I talked about, CDOT has 290 contributions. We have our own patents that we have put there. In CSAT-5, we are world leader. Consequently, any one of you want to set up a connectivity of these services, please take it. It's available to you. Take technology transfer agreement of all these products. Then you said, somebody asked me, sir, what about mobile phone? I have still mobile phone, no? Beyond Wi-Fi and all that. So what we did is created a Wi-Fi PBX from your mobiles. So 11 mobiles can connect to a small little box called Vidwan. And this Vidwan can provide the PBX connectivity to all your mobiles there in a remote place where there is no connectivity. And out of these 11, one will be able to make the calls. Such 11 calls can go on satellite together. The cost is 26 rupees per minute on a satellite satellite phone. In this, it is 2.6 rupees per minute because 11 calls go together. And still you have bandwidth left for the video deposition at the edge computing. So that's why I said, we are here to solve problems for, which are there.
So is this commercially available now?
Yes, it is technologically available to anybody want to manufacture. Okay, TOT it is called, transfer of technology. CDOT has about 93 technology transfer agreement to 28 manufacturers. They have done more than 3,000 crore worth of business, fresh ideas. This one, any one of you want to have a manufacturing tie-up with somebody, take it. So I answered your question.
Thank you very
That's
much.
why I said bingo.
Thank you. Sir. Thank you.
Any other question? Try it out, go to the labs, find out, do trials. All of this is available for you. Set up the data centers wherever they are required, okay? Next.
It doesn't support Wi-Fi 6 still, but is the government doing anything on that front?
Yes and no. The standard, which has been defined 3 months back, support 2.4, 4.8 bands, both of them simultaneously today, and they're both permitted. In fact, India is leader in terms of providing a spectrum to Wi-Fi. We have more than 600 megahertz spectrum, which is opened up. So you have the earlier spectrum, all the bands were completely opened up. We are also provided the more power, or the full power, I would say, not more, as per the standard, even outdoor. So what number I gave you were based on the existing spectrum, not the 6 megahertz. Okay, not 6 gigahertz spectrum, right? It is based on the existing ones. When that happens, you will have a blast, actually, right? And I think some of you should actually ask for that spectrum, right? Okay. Yeah, there.
Good morning, Mr. Tyagi.
Good morning.
You talked about using satellite from US and Russia, which we are doing from couple of decades. Thankfully, we have also launched it, but the adaptability is not there because the hardware manufacturer on that side is still using US and Russian satellites for any kind of activity which they want to do. So what exactly we have to do so that these organizations will come to India and the hardware manufacturing will rely on our satellite so that the adaptability will increase on that side?
Yes. The question is 2 questions, not 1. Number 1 is that the one of the problem with this satellite business has been that they are not very easy on user. So very expensive terminals, very expensive, launching satellite. Also, it is very difficult to find the solution providers at times. How to reach? Where to provide? Unlike the people like Tata Sky, who was able to provide all the things. And just to mention, which I could not complete while discussing the previous point, is that we are also integrated in CSAT-5 all the TV channels, free TV channels. So what is required is the technology has to service people. Consequently, we have to merge all of these with the satellite connectivity and do that. So what is required is if you are selling satellite in India or nearby, integrate all of this, talk to us, do trials with us. We are already done with TICOM, we're done with Eutelsat, we're done with ISRO. You can do with anybody, right? So that will be the way for us to grow this satellite business for the ICT providers. Yeah. Maybe I think we can have one-on-one if you want, but this is easily doable. That's what I'm saying. Okay, any other question? All right, huh? Take off line. Okay, and you're all welcome to visit CDOT. I will be able to show all the things that I talked about. But in the closing remarks, I would like to say, look at the change. Be the change. Drive the change. Because it is very important for all of us to change. right? And change in, I just talked about technology, business, how business will change. Pharmaceutical, the service pharmaceutical, the segment, not the ICT segment. Okay? So that's what I mean. On security, which I have not talked about generally, I don't talk about security. Okay? That's because I do a lot of things I've done. There are three things which are important: identification, mitigation, and progression. Identification of the threat, we all know. Mitigation, somewhat. But progression is not there. It means that once it has happened, second time it will not happen. And that's where we had to focus in terms of security. You can do it only once. Second time, I will not allow it to happen. Thank you very much.